I believe that the word of wisdom that we need the most in Nigeria right now is a word of wisdom that talks about the dangers of unsupervised change. Nigeria and the danger of unsupervised change. I was in Uganda recently and I said to them that the greatest measure of progress in any society does not come from the number of skyscrapers or flat screen TVs, but from the visible care that the nation provides for infants, the aged, and the handicapped. On the other hand, a society begins to lose its humanity, and a meltdown is in progress when you notice a slide in the value of human worth, starting with children, the aged, and the handicapped. I must confess that Nigeria today is losing more citizens per day than any other nation of the world due to preventable causes. Now, this is the major reason why some of us voted for the change agenda of the Buhari-Osinbajo ticket. Value to human life has been degenerating to an all-time low in Nigeria, and we are sliding towards a meltdown despite all the efforts that the government has been making. You see, the harvest of decades of abuse is now coming in, and all hands must be on deck if we want to survive, to prosper as a nation. And the reason why many citizens cannot notice how low we are is simply because most persons are too preoccupied with the issues of daily survival. And we are also products of something called classical conditioning that was put into our foundation by the colonial experience. Now, this type of classical conditioning engages an equation to produce generations of suspicious, superstitious, hyper-religious, limited, disingenuous, divisive, and self-loathing citizens that are incapable of self-governance. We call it by study the devil's arithmetic, and we cannot see how Nigeria can ever make progress until it is reverse engineered. Any politician that is vying for governance that does not understand these classical conditioning equations will be chasing after shadows and wasting everybody's time. Look, it has taken us 15 plus years of research into subjects that modern education conceals to produce this audiobook called The Devil's Arithmetic. And the devil's arithmetic will tell you all you need to know about the root of chaos in Nigeria. Remember that time does not heal faulty foundations, and a lie will remain a lie even after 1 million years. Tubman Goldie, the man who designed modern Nigeria, I tell you, was a student of the devil's arithmetic. He understood it and applied it assiduously to the foundation of Nigeria. So, this is why so much is going on around you that many people presume are just normal, not understanding that we are products of a deliberate engineering process. 50 years plus after the Nigerian independence, we continue to drink tea, eat imported biscuits, knot ties, wear suits, stockings, wigs in the tropical heat, while speaking phonetized English or whatever in a greater quantum than was ever done throughout the sum of our colonial years. We have been engineered not to notice that the colonials left an implant behind inside us, and that engine has never ceased to produce a predictable result. Now, going beyond the tea and biscuits, that engine also affects the predictable way we do politics, religion, plus the way we import and consume so much while producing very little for ourselves. The enslavement program of this engine was designed to exploit all religious, political, and cultural differences, And this is a major reason why the established social, religious, and political institutions in Nigeria have not been able to halt our descent into chaos and darkness. If the meltdown of our nation is to be avoided, it will have to be the ordinary citizens that must arise to reverse the devil's arithmetic and join hands with government to rescue our nation. On the corruption issue, which is a part of the products of the devil's arithmetic, there are two major types of corruption in Nigeria. The first one involves finances, while the deadlier and the second one does not involve money, but morals, standards, and the mores of society. We can beat these problems, but there have to be a few things that we have to do by public initiative. There's a huge constituency of Nigerian citizens at home and abroad that were stirred up to support the presidential change agenda campaign that are presently right now hanging in limbo after the politicking is over. These constituencies can be stirred up again, excited, and forged into a pro-change mammoth whose cloud of support can provide the counterbalance needed to assure national approval of rapid change programs. Mixing the support at home and abroad will also strengthen the steward leader model of the present administration, so that they can keep the old foxes, those old wolves, vampires, can be kept in check. Should these constituencies be left out of the loop, we are the ones who will continue to bear the brunt of the sacrifices needed to turn Nigeria around without forewarning. Now, unless these constituencies make a firm commitment or a buy-in into the change agenda of the government, they will end up being alienated into the opposition. We did not make a mistake voting for change, but any change agenda that does not come with a clear vision and complementary narratives will only remain a fantasy. The danger of supervised change in Nigeria is the word of wisdom for this hour.